After posting my all Intel build video, I decided to break down the issues with Intel's 13th and 14th gen processors. Many people talk about these issues, but they often get too technical. These are the main issues Intel are facing. So the first issue is power management. The voltage regulation for some of these Intel processors is just too high. It's too damn high, resulting in mad instability. When your CPU is executing tasks and the workloads increase, like rendering a video, it needs more power to perform efficiently. Intel CPUs are just asking for too much power and voltage, leading to higher temperatures, resulting in reduced efficiency over time. Think of it like a car tire. The faster and further you drive, the more worn out the tire becomes. Also, what happens is, as the CPU degrades, it asks for even more voltage to maintain its performance, which accelerates the degradation over time. So we just mentioned accelerated degradation. So what is actually being degraded in the CPU? So in a CPU, there are tiny pathways called interconnects, which are like roads for electrical signals. Imagine these roads, once built, are not allowed to be serviced or maintained. As more cars, think of the cars as voltage, travel on these roads, they start to get damaged, developing potholes and things like that over time. This damage, in correspondence to the CPU, is known as electromigration. So in the case of the CPU, as the workload increases, so does the voltage, causing more damage to these interconnects. So what is electromigration? So back to the tiny highways and roads inside your CPU. Imagine these roads and highways are made of metal. Electromigration is like having large amounts of fast-moving traffic on these roads and highways caused by too many cars. The cars, in our case, or in this case, representing electrons. So you may be asking, what is voltage in relation to electrons? Voltage is basically the force that makes the electrons move. So think of the voltage as the fuel for these cars. So how does electromigration happen? First, we have a high current. When a lot of electrical current flows through the tiny metal wires inside the CPU, it pushes the metal atoms around. These are now the interconnects, alright, our roads. So think of the metal atoms as the tar or asphalt that makes up the road. So with the atom movement over time, this constant pushing can cause the metal atoms to move from their original positions. So in our case, the tar or asphalt is breaking away from the roads. We then have what are called voids and hillocks. They are created by this movement of the atoms, which create empty spaces, those being the voids. They also create pileups, those being the hillocks. So basically, what we are now getting are bumps and potholes in our roads. So how do these bumps and potholes affect our CPU? Well, firstly, we have broken paths. The voids, those being our potholes, can break the electrical paths, causing the CPU to malfunction. So in short, the roads have so many potholes that they split in two, preventing any vehicles from traveling along them. We then have short circuits. So the hillocks can actually create short circuits by connecting parts of the CPU that shouldn't actually be connected. So this one's a bit hard to explain in simple terms, but imagine a road diverting into another road with opposite traffic flow. This would obviously in that case lead to a head-on collision. So in short, that's basically what's affecting Intel's 13th and 14th gen processors. So there are other areas and components within the CPU that can be affected by having dodgy interconnects and bad power delivery and all of that. Things like transistors, memory cells, signal integrity. I don't want to get into too much detail around that because, as I say, it gets rather complicated. We also don't know the full extent to all the degradation within these CPUs. But if you really want to know how interconnects work and how CPUs work, I advise you go have a look at and go watch the video in the link in the video description. I've left a link there to the video that I'm suggesting. Okay, I'm babbling now. Thanks for watching, and we'll hopefully see you on the next one. Cheers.